Okay, so today we're doing page 447, 1 through 12, and I want to talk about mean, median, mode, and range. So, mean is just a kind of weird way of saying average, which to find the average, you just add all the numbers together and divide by the numbers. That's going to give you a number that's kind of in the middle of all the others. Um, Median, if you list the numbers, the data points, from like least to greatest, the median is the number that would fall right in the middle. Now, if you have an even number of numbers, there's kind of two numbers in the middle that would share that middle spot. So in that case, we would have to average those two numbers in the middle to find the median. We'll do that later. Mode is the number that appears the most often. So let me go back to this for a second. Mean and median are usually fairly close to each other. So they're a way of finding the number that's kind of in the middle. So if we took a test, for example, and the mean score, the average score was like an 83, that means that's kind of going to be in the middle of everybody else's. The higher scores pull it up, the lower scores pull it down. So the mean is that number that's kind of in between all the rest. Median is very similar. It's usually close to the mean. If 83 was the median, that means if I arrange the order of tests from lowest score to highest score, the median would be the person that got right in the middle of that list. And usually these numbers are close, but they're definitely not necessarily the same number. Mode is the number that appears most often. So if like 4 people got an 88 on the test, that would probably be the mode, the most often appearing. So mode, most, kind of sounds the same, right? Median, I don't know, you can think of like the median on the highways, that strip down the middle. So the median is the number that's right in the middle, okay? Range is the difference between the highest and the lowest number. So if somebody got 100 on the test, the highest score, and then the lowest score was a 70, then the range would be 100 minus 70, 30. So it's just the difference from top to bottom. So looking on your books on page 447, that little table there is supposed to represent kids in a youth group. And the data points are 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, the ages of the kids. Might be a little confusing at first. That says tally 3, tally 1, 2, 3, and then it says frequency 3. So that tally of 3 and that number 3 is saying the same thing. So it's basically that means there's 3 12-year-olds in the youth group. So it's kind of like we have 3 12s in the youth group. And then it says a couple 13s. And then it says 14 1, 1 14. And then it says 15 4. Oops. Yes. I guess I'll go down here. And then it says, evidently no 16-year-olds, 17 3. So if I wrote out the ages, it would look like this. And this is going to maybe come in handy a little bit later when I'm talking about median. So number 1, it says how many members are 13th. You don't really need this list to know that. You can just look at the table. How many are 13? 2. Okay, it says tally, // and then it says 2. So it's just 2. Number 1, straightforward. Okay, how many members are at least 14 on number 2? So you count how many are 14, how many are 15, how many are 17, add those together, straightforward. We jump to number 4, it says, what is the range? So the range, the data points that we're looking at are the ages, okay, not the 3 or the 5, 4, not 3 12-year-olds, not 4 15-year-olds. These are the data we're looking at. So what's the range? What's the difference between the highest age and the lowest age? Highest age is 17, lowest age is 12. So you just do 17 minus 12, That's the range. Okay, how many members are in the youth group? Number 5, straightforward, just add all the tallies or the frequency columns together. Number 6, what is the mode? So which of these ages appears the most? Mode, most. So for that one, it'll be one number, which age appears the most. Number 7, what is the mean? Okay, 7 is where we actually have to start doing some work. I think I'm going to do 7, 8, 9, 11 just as examples. So the mean is the average. And to average numbers, you add them all together and then you divide by the number of numbers. And what that does is it gives us the number that's kind of floating right in between all those. That's kind of how our grades work, really. When you get a grade at the end of the year, that's how we do it. Well, in statistics, we use these all the time. Like, what's the average age that people, get their driver's license or get married or die or something? These kind of things we use all the time to talk about. It just gives us an idea of what's going on in the world. Anyway, back to number 7. What's the mean? So what we need to do, we're not just going to add like 12 plus 13. We have to add all these 12s, all these 13, the 14, the 15s, the 17. Add them all together and divide by the number of numbers. Okay. I don't think I'm going to actually do this. Sorry. I'll leave it to you guys. Add all these together and divide by the number of numbers. So, yeah, I guess I might use... Okay. Let's pretend I added them together and it came out to 350. Okay, and how many kids are in the youth group? Or how many numbers are there up here? 13. So I would have to do 350 divided by 13, whatever that equals. So 350 is in the box. Okay, looking at the answer, it looks like there's one decimal place. I'm assuming they didn't round it off. So you should have a decimal place in your answer. So this is not the right answer. I just made this up, but it kind of gives you an idea of what to do. This 350 is too big, by the way. Shouldn't be that big. It kind of gives you an idea. And the answer, they had one decimal place. So, all right, number 8. What is the median? This one is much easier. The median is the middle number. Now, if I have them listed out like this, you could just go, what's in the middle? Well, start at the beginning and the end and count inwards, like towards each other, like that, and then find what's in the middle. There is kind of a math trick, but I think it kind of confuses people. If you add 1 to the total number of numbers and then divide that by 2, that will tell you which number. Like if there was 10 kids, see, that's confusing. If there were 11 kids in the group and you add 1, you get 12, you divide that by 2, 6. The sixth kid, the sixth number in the list would give you the middle number. It's kind of confusing, right? So let's just, since this list is not huge, let's just count outwards to the middle here. So this is the first, this is the last, so counting in. So 15 is the middle number. Okay, I just counted from out to in. 15 is the middle term. So that would just be the answer to number 8. Let's say 14 and 15 had shared the middle. Like if there's an even number, there's going to be 2 numbers that are like right in the middle. So what we would have had to do, probably have to do this later, is average 14 and 15. That's how you average 2 numbers. Add them together and divide by 2. And that would come out as 14.5. That's not the answer. 15 is the answer. But if those two had shared the middle, The average of 14 and 15 is 14.5. Average means kind of, the middle. What's between 14 and 15? 14.5. It's a little more complicated when you have more than two numbers, but if you have two numbers, it's basically what's directly between 14 and 15. 14 and a half or 14.5. Okay, again, that's not the answer, but that's just an example. Okay, number 9. In a way, number 9 is less complicated because they just list out 5 numbers and they say find the mean, median, range. So they don't say find the mode. There is no mode on number 9 because there is no number that appears most often. So we got 3 answers for these last 4. So it's kind of a lot of work. So number 9, I didn't bring my calculators up here. So I might just let you guys do it, but I'll help you set it up here. The mean on number 9 is average. So you add all the numbers together and divide by the number of numbers. So 1260, 1490. 1070, 1320, 1280. Add those together. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll do it. 10, 17, 26, 32, 6, 9, 12, 14. All right. That's all of them put together, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to divide 6,420 by 5. Okay, this will work out nicely because it ends in a 0, so that will divide by 5 well. So that would be the average. It should be a number that's kind of in between these numbers. So it'll be in the low thousands if you get it right. Anyway, so that would give you the mean. The median, this one will be easy, is the number that's directly in the middle. Now, if I say 1070 is in the middle, that would be wrong because these are not listed in order. Okay, so you need to list them in order from least to greatest or greatest to least, and then choose the middle. So the least is actually 1070, so that is not median. Then the next smallest is 1260, and I see 1280, and I see 1320, and I see 1490. Okay, so this is order from least to greatest. So what's the middle number? 1280. Okay, so this is the first, okay, right in the middle. So that would just be, there's no math to do on that one. You just say it's 1280. Should be pretty close to this answer. These two are kind of related. They're not necessarily going to be really close, but they are. They're not the same answer for these first two, but they should be very close. The third question on number 9 is find the range. This is pretty easy. The range is just what's the biggest and the smallest and the gap between those two. So you just do biggest 1490 minus 1070. Okay, so that would be a little bit neater here, 420. So our 3 answers, the mean is whatever that comes out to, the median, the middle number, and the range is that number. Okay, so the only thing I didn't do was finish the mean for you guys. So that would be number 9. That's kind of how the last 4 are going to go. Let's see, 2, 4, 6. I think I'm just going to do one more thing. On number 10, by the way, they were kind of nice to us. There are no decimals on 9 through 12, so if you got a decimal, something went wrong. Number 7, remember I said did have a decimal. Okay, number 10 I want to look at because it's got an even number of numbers for the median. That makes a difference. So I'm going to just talk about the median on number 10. So I'm going to list them in order from least to greatest. So it looks like 81, 83, 86. And then what? 90, 91, 97. Okay, median on this one. What's in the middle? So outside and in. So these two numbers are sharing the middle. Okay, because there's an even number numbers, there's kind of two numbers that'll be right in the middle. So the median is going to be what's between these two. So you're going to have to average those two. So you do 86 plus 90 divided by 2. If you understand average, you know what's directly in between 86 and 90. That's what we should get right on this. That would be 176. 176 divided by 2. Okay, 88. Is 88 right between 86 and 90? Yeah. So anyway, that would be the median for number 10. I'm not going to do the rest of them. If you understood 9, you'll get all those. I just wanted to point out the median when you have an even number of numbers, because that's kind of weird. Hopefully you guys got this. Good luck on today's assignment.